Welcome to the Full-Time FBA Show. In each episode, it's our goal to help you turn part-time hours into a full-time income selling almost anything on Amazon. And now, your hosts of the show, Stephen and Rebecca Smotherman.
Hello there and welcome to another episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. We are on episode number 260 today, and we're going to be talking about such a fun topic, how to double your Q4 sales and profits. With me to talk about this is my husband and co-host and business partner, Stephen. How excited are you about Q4 this year?
I mean, I've been thinking about it since January 1st, and so, I'm so excited. I can't even finish my sentence.
Exactly. It's his favorite time of year, and not just because of postseason baseball and his birthday in October, but because Q4 is amazing in the Amazon e-commerce world.
So good.
It is. We'll get into this topic more on today's episode. Well, Q4 is here. I mean, if you happen to be listening to today's episode on the day it drops, Q4 officially starts tomorrow, October 1st. But for most of our listeners who are listening to this not on the first day, Q4 is finally here. If you're new to the business world, Q4 stands for quarter four, also known as fourth quarter, and it is the last 3-month period of the year. Q4 is comprised of the months of October, November, and December. And as Stephen usually sings, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, you're supposed to sing it. It's the most wonderful time. Okay, you know what I mean.
Yes. I will have to just let you do all the singing on the show. I'm not going to sing on the podcast. So obviously, Stephen loves Q4. And the reason, if you haven't guessed it by now, is that sales and profits on Amazon increase way more than normal during Q4. But they can increase even more, exponentially even, during Q4 as long as you set your Amazon business up the right way. And that's what we're going to talk about today on the show.
Yeah, there's one tweak that you can make in your Amazon business that has the potential to double your Q4 sales and profits. And depending on if you do it right, possibly triple or quadruple your Q4 profits. And that is doing this: using an automatic repricer with specific repricing rules. And the good news for you is that at the end of this episode, we're going to tell you how to get those specific rules for free.
Okay, some of our listeners might be asking, if Q4 is so awesome with all the increased sales and profits, and it's so awesome that you wanted me to sing earlier in the episode, then why do Amazon sellers even need an automatic repricer during this time? I mean, why can't you just enjoy the boost in sales and profits that comes naturally in Q4? So what would you say to listeners who might be asking that kind of question?
I mean, I think it's a fair question, and my answer to them is actually a question back. I mean, the question is this: would you rather experience Q4 with a nice little boost of sales during October, November, and December? Or would you like to double, triple, or quadruple your sales during Q4? Yeah, if you did nothing different, you'd see a nice little bump in sales. But we have experienced, by using automatic repricer and set it up the right way, that literally doubling our sales the very first Q4, we used an automatic repricer. And then year after that, we've perfected our full-time FBA proprietary repricing rules to make even more profits year after year.
Now, using an automatic repricer is not just a wise thing to consider during Q4, but it's awesome to use year-round. If you want to learn more about why we love using an automatic repricer year-round, you can listen to episode 47 of the Full-Time FBA Show. You can hear that episode on your favorite podcast player or by going to fulltimefba.com/47. Yes, we love using an automatic repricer year-round, but we absolutely love it during Q4.
Right. And the cool thing is that setting up an automatic repricer, it's not a hard thing to do. In fact, like I said, at the end of today's show, we will not only tell you how to get our personal repricing rules the way we use it, but how you can get the instructions on how to set up these rules in your repricer the right way.
We've been mentioning that it's super important to use an automatic repricer, but we have not told you why it's so important. In fact, some of you might be thinking, isn't using an automatic repricer just going to lower my prices? How can I make more profits and sales if my prices keep tanking? Well, if you're using the wrong repricer, like the free repricing tool offered by Amazon, also known as Automate Pricing, then that is exactly what you'll be experiencing, as Automate Pricing only lowers prices. They never increase prices as of this recording. That's simply not good for profits if the price is only going down. We need those prices to not only increase, but to increase strategically. And that's why we use and recommend the automatic repricer called Be Cool, which is creatively spelled BQOOL.
Oh, yeah. We love using Be Cool. And yeah, sometimes Be Cool lowers the prices on our inventory, but it's a strategic lowering of prices. For example, Be Cool will lower the prices of some of our inventory that we have in stock, but they totally ignore repricing against sellers that have really bad feedback score, who probably won't even win the buy box anyway. And Be Cool won't lower my prices against brand new sellers who might just be pricing really low to get some sales going as a beginner. And also, with our Be Cool rules, we can set it not to reprice against merchant fulfilled sellers, or seller fulfilled is because my customers are mainly Prime members. And remember, we mentioned this a few weeks ago. The number one filter that buyers on Amazon use when shopping is the Amazon Prime filter. So Be Cool does not lower my prices to compare it to merchant fulfilled sellers who my customers won't even see as an option during their Amazon shopping experience. So and that's just a fraction of the things that we have set up with our own personal repricing rules that helps us lower our prices only when we have to in order to remain competitive. Again, we'll tell you how to get these rules in a moment.
Yes, and with each inventory item, we can set a minimum price with Be Cool so that they never lower our price to a price that's no longer profitable for us. And that's a huge perk of these strategic repricing rules that Stephen keeps talking about. Our prices never go too low, and our prices are never lowered against sellers who are not really our competition.
Again, Be Cool only lowers the price if it strategically makes sense, and it's not going to lower your price below your stated minimum price. But mostly, Be Cool will raise your price strategically as well. And one of the aspects of selling Amazon during Q4 that I love is how the volume of sales increases exponentially as well. With increased Q4 sales on Amazon, that means that my lower price competition is going to sell out faster, leaving me with a higher priced inventory to get those sales. Before I started using Automatic Repricer, Q4 was really a stressful time for me because I felt like I needed to spend so much time manually repricing my inventory myself. And I was stressing out about being too late to increase my prices strategically. For example, one November, many years ago during Q4, I had a few Lego sets in my inventory that were priced around $50 each, because all the other sellers were also priced around $50 for that Lego set. But then as Christmas started to get closer, all of the $50 Lego sets were sold out, including mine. And then the same item, that same Lego item, was selling for $70. And then a few weeks after that, it was priced at $90. And the closer it got to Christmas, the higher the prices got. And I was just kicking myself for not seeing what was going on and raising my price as the lower price competition started selling out. I could have made so much more in sales and profits if I was using Automatic Repricer to always keep my prices priced competitively and within reach of the Amazon buy box. I mean, always having to try to manually reprice my inventory was exhausting. And during Q4, it was like even more exhausting. I'm tired even just thinking about it. And that kind of exhaustion does not get me singing. It's the most wonderful time of the year. See, even talking about going through Q4 without an Automatic Repricer makes me not want to sing.
Yeah, it's way more fun to run an Amazon business when we're also singing, especially when you're singing. And Be Cool really makes us want to sing more during Q4. So if you're wanting to get your hands on Full-Time FBA's strategic repricing rules, here's what you need to do. First, go to fulltimefba.com/becool, BQOOL, and sign up for a 1-week free trial. Once you sign up, email us and simply ask for our repricing rules. You can email us at fulltimefba.com/contact. And once you request the Be Cool rules, our assistant will email them to you with the instructions you need to get it all set up.
Q4 is just started, so now is just a really great time to start using Be Cool. And also, you'll be set up to have your inventory always priced competitively and almost always win the buy box year-round. Speaking of year-round, if you're listening to this podcast episode and it's not currently Q4 at the time that you're listening, then hopefully by now you know that using our Full-Time FBA repricing rules will help you out greatly, no matter when you use them. So go to fulltimefba.com/becool, sign up for an Automatic Repricer today, and to help save you some money, you also don't have to sign up for the higher priced AI repricer, but simply the lowest cost subscription Be Cool will update your prices and make them competitive automatically for you every 15 minutes. I mean, if you want to pay more, you can have Be Cool reprice every 5 minutes, but I use the 15-minute repricing plan, and I have zero complaints with that.
So making sure you're stocked up with inventory for Q4 combined with using Be Cool to automatically reprice your inventory so that your inventory's time in the buy box is greatly increased. That's how you'll be able to easily double your Q4 sales and profits. And like we said before, maybe even more as your Amazon business grows each year.
Now, we just shared one tweak to your Amazon business that will help you sell more and make more profits in Q4. And we'd love to share even more winning strategies that we offer to maximize your Q4 profits. So we want to invite you to our upcoming Amazon Q4 Income Accelerator Workshop. It's a free 5-day workshop where we're going to share with you how you can use the power of Q4 to jumpstart the process of you making a full-time income selling on Amazon. You can get more details and sign up for the upcoming Q4 workshop by going to fulltimefba.com/Q4 workshop. We can't wait to see you there.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. As a reminder, the links and the show notes for this episode will be found at fulltimefba.com/260 because this is episode number 260.
And next week on the show, we're going to be answering the question, is selling on Amazon via FBA an actual viable business in 2024? We'll talk about that and some other really cool stuff too next week on the Full-Time FBA Show.
Spoiler alert. Of course it is. Of course it's viable.
Yes, we're going to tell you why.
Yes.
And give you all the details next week.
That's all for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. So head over to fulltimefba.com/podcast, where you'll find the show notes and links from this episode. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter where you'll get several free downloads of our popular and helpful Amazon FBA resources. Now, take action on what you've learned today so you can find success at turning part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA.